All right, so this is the first practice problem from lesson A 1.5, and it says, which is greater? For each expression comparison map below, simplify and determine which side is greater. Record your work by showing each move and the simplified expression that remains afterwards. So this is something that we've been doing for a while now. We're not solving, we're still looking for which one is greater. So the first thing that we want to do is just write what do we have right now as is on the left side, and what do we have right now as is on the right side. So remember, always start up on the top. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 positive units. So 4 plus 1, 2, 3 negative. So we're going to go parentheses, -3. And then on the bottom, remember, we have to have our negative sign followed by parentheses, and we've got a positive x plus 2 and -2. Close those parentheses. Now over here we've got a negative x plus 1, 2, 3 plus a -2, and then down here we've got, well, forgot my parentheses, so a negative parentheses. Down here we've got 1 -3. All right, so again, kind of this next step is up to you. When I look at this bottom part, I see a 0 pair and a 0 pair. So instead of moving those, I'm just going to eliminate them. Same idea over here. I see a 0 pair. I'm going to eliminate that before I do any moving. So when we move these two up to the top, remember, cross the line, flip the sign, we're going to end up with 2 more positive tiles, positive unit tiles up here. Remember, shaded means positive. All right, so we did that move. Over here, when we take this, move it to the top, it's positive here, so cross the line, flip the sign, it's going to become negative. Don't color it in, it's negative. Now that we've done all of that, we need to rewrite what we have, right? Because we've made some changes to both sides. So over here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 positive units and 1, 2, 3 negative units still. However, we now have this negative x up on top. So we've got 4 plus a -3 plus negative x. And then over here, we have that negative x, and now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive units, so plus 5, and then plus that -2. All right, now if we go back and we look at both sides, we definitely have some 0 pairs that we can get rid of up on the top. So I see 1, 2, and 3. Over here, I see 1, 2. And so if we rewrite what we have, that leaves us with a positive 1. So 1 plus a -x. And over here, that leaves us with a positive 1, 2, 3, and still that -x. And then if you notice, right, you can see it down here, you've got that -x tile on both sides. And also, if you look up here, you've got that -x tile on both sides. And so remember, if you got the same tile, right, the same shape, the same, what am I trying to say? The same value, so like positive or negative, then you can just ditch them. So we're going to ditch that, and we're going to ditch that. And so that leaves us with 1 on this side and 3 on this side. Go back to your original question, which is greater? Well, 3 is greater. So 1 is less than 3. And we're done with part A. So now if we move on to part B, again, always start with what it is before you do any changing. So we've got a -2x plus a positive 2 plus a -1, 2, 3, 4. And down here we've got -1 and then -1. And then over here on this side, again, we've got a -x plus 2 units plus -2 units, and then minus, right, in parentheses, and x, didn't leave myself much room. We've got that x plus 2 minus 1. All right, so now, again, let's look at where some 0 pairs are. Let's ditch this one and let's ditch that. And then while we're at it, so different from what we did over here, I kind of added some extra steps in there. Let's get rid of the 0 pairs that we have up on top. So ditch that one, ditch that one, ditch that, and ditch that. And that takes care of a lot for us. So let's go back and rewrite what we have left. So up here we've got a negative 2x and a negative 2, so plus negative 2. And then up here we've got a negative x, and down here would be minus a negative x plus that 1. So we're going to have to add that. So add that inside of your parentheses. So plus that 1 that's left over. Okay, so now let's do some moving. We don't have any moving to do here. This is all we have left on the top. Down here we have to move that guy up there. So that becomes a negative unit. This one, we move that one to the top, and it also becomes a negative x tile. All right, so now let's rewrite what we have. We've got negative 2x plus a negative 2 on this side still. And then over here, we have a negative 2x plus a negative 1, right, because we moved that guy up there. So now notice down here, you guys, negative 2x on this side, negative 2x on this side. If we go up here and confirm, negative 2x there, negative 2x there, we've got the same type of tile, they're the same sign, and we have the same number of them, so let's ditch those. So that guy is out, that guy is out. So we're left with a negative 2 and a negative 1. Remember, this negative 1 is actually going to be greater because it is closer to 0. So negative 2 is less than negative 1, and we're done.